Thank you, Dr. Wagner. So as we start to close in here on the home stretch, it gives me really great pleasure to welcome Dr. Rod Wong. Most of you might know that he is the founder and chairman of Rocket Pharma, but fun fact, he is also a terrific musician. He plays the guitar, and I hear he's quite the singer. So, Rod, did I out you? Come on up.
Thanks so much, Gayatri. So normally having the job of saying thank you is an easy job, but honestly, I'm a little bit of a mess. This is without a doubt the most emotional day of the year for me so far. And last year, this event last year was easily one of the most emotional days of that year. I think what I feel can be summed up as two basic emotions. I feel extraordinarily grateful to be here and get to hear the stories of our speakers. And then I also feel incredibly humbled. So first, I just wanted to say thank you for our patient and our family speakers. Hearing your stories is so incredibly meaningful. They're meaningful to me personally, and I know they're incredibly meaningful to the Rocket team. I know, the emotions I feel must be felt by other people in the room. I know for sure my wife feels them because she's crying through half of the session today. But I'm sure many of us in the room feel the power of the words that you shared. When we do this, it is, when we started Rocket a handful of years ago, it was with this basic marriage of two ideas that Kinnari already touched on with you, which was the observation that the certain types of gene therapy, the technology had matured to the point where it can enable drug development, and that there were important rare diseases that were severe and that were really significant unmet needs that deserved development and hadn't gotten the proper attention that they observed yet. But that's an intellectual conclusion, right? And we know it and we feel it, but it's very different from hearing those words directly from the patients that are impacted. And so I'm extraordinarily grateful each year to get to hear those stories. One, they're a great example for me personally for how to live life as a better person and to show strength and resilience through adversity and whatever challenges we all face as individuals. And it moves me to want to do something greater than I can, because our speakers are all wonderful examples of people who have chosen to look well beyond themselves and to actually essentially pick up a second job or a volunteer job, right, to share their stories with others, to make a broader impact on their patient community and then on the broader rare disease community. And like I said last year, that is heroes' work. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. I'm also humbled by the amazing public speaking skills. I think I need to ask if a couple will coach me so that I can become a better public speaker. I also want to thank our Rocket team that put on this wonderful event. So of course, Kinnari and Gayatri and Deirdre and the rest of the team. It is such a special event. It is so needed. So Rare Disease Day has been, I think, around for about a decade now, just over a decade. But until the first event of this kind last year, New York City didn't have an event like this. So obviously, we're only in the very early days of this fight, right, for rare disease, and to make sure that it gets the attention that it deserves, and ultimately the cures developed that patients with rare disease deserve. So that doesn't happen on its own. It's because of people that I'm humbled to get to work with, like Kinnari, like Gaurav, who you'll hear from shortly, like Gayatri, that happens. Last year with 50 people, as Kinnari mentioned, now 4 times as large, 200 people today. You know, I can only imagine what it will be next year and the years to come after that. And that is thrilling and humbling to be able to be a part of that. So thank you so much, all of you, for being a part of this day. And again, it really, truly is an honor for me to be a part of it, an increasingly small part of it, which is the most exciting part for me, that, you know, it is, you know, it's a little bit of an awkward position because people shake your hand and they say, hey, congratulations, and you get so much credit. But, you know, it is so wonderful for me to now be less than a fraction of 1% of the effort. And that's probably the thing that makes me most proud. So it is an honor to get to introduce the CEO of Rocket, Gaurav Shah, and a wonderful friend of mine, to close out today. Thank you.